welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. As you are too aware, there's a lot of talk in the WNBA about officiating, about free throws, about who has a special whistle, about who has the worst whistle, all of those things. And that conversation showed up after Game 5 when the Indiana Fever defeated the Las Vegas Aces. Both A'ja Wilson and her coach, Becky Hammon, had something to say about how the game was officiated. So we're going to go to that clip. And as always, the links to any videos that I show will be in the description of this video. So let's hear what A'ja Wilson and her coach had to say. Well, let's start here on CBSSports.com. Headline says, Aces, A'ja Wilson, Becky Hammon call out officials after, quote, very interesting free throw discrepancy in Game 4. So you see Becky Hammon here. I know it looks like she's mad at the world, but that's just Becky Hammon's look.
While you're looking at that box score, I'm wondering what's really standing out to you there.
I was just looking at the fouls. Like Liz had 5, Jackie had 5, Chelsea had 5, and that's very interesting to me because I'm not saying we don't foul. Yeah, we foul here and there, but that's very interesting.
Megan had 4.
What? Oh my God, that's interesting. That's what I was looking at. But we'll do better. We gotta play better defense.
By interesting, do you mean that shit?
Yeah, I can't say that because I got a brand to protect. But
I'll say it. I have no brand.
yeah, it's interesting. But we'll be better.
And she had more to say.
But what made it successful for them to keep going to her tonight?
I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Aliyah that question. I honestly, you just do your work. You got to do your work early and make it different. But Aliyah did say I have a special whistle. And she shot 13 today.
She said that to you?
Yeah. Yeah. She said the last game I had a special whistle, which is cool. So we just got to play better defense, make her look a little difficult, and kind of go from there.
All right. Thank you all.
Yep.
So, according to A'ja Wilson, Aliyah Boston said that she, A'ja, has a special whistle. Now, I haven't heard that. So apparently it was said during the course of the basketball game. She said that last game. So I don't know if there was some talking going on and Aliyah Boston just went ahead and told the whole truth, which is that A'ja Wilson has a special whistle. Seemed to me that A'ja Wilson was trying to say, I don't have a special whistle. Aliyah Boston has a special whistle because in that one game, Aliyah Boston shot 13 free throws. Now, when you look at a box score throughout the regular season, you will see that A'ja Wilson often gets a whole lot of points from the free throw line. Everybody knows A'ja Wilson has a special whistle. Why she sounded like she didn't know is beyond me. In fact, I was speaking the other day in a video and it just came out. I was trying to say A'ja Wilson, but it came out A'ja Whistle. And I didn't plan that. That was just there. So you know how the ball never lies when somebody gets called a foul, goes to the free throw line and the other person really didn't foul him and they missed the free throw. We go, oh, that the ball doesn't lie. Well, that slip didn't lie either. A'ja Wilson has a special whistle. A'ja Wilson also has a special non-whistle. A'ja Wilson moves on screens 99.9999% of the time. Last game, I'm screaming at the television. She's moving. She sticks her hip out there, her leg out there. Lexi hits the floor. She does that on the regular and gets away with it. If you didn't see the video about her special whistle, you need to check it out. The video I did about that. So she's got a special whistle. She's got a special non-whistle. And she sat up there and said, just because in that particular game, Aliyah Boston went to the free throw line more than usual, then the suggestion is that Aliyah Boston has a special whistle. That's a joke. We're like Leah Boston is the source of conversation, even with legends in the game, like Candace Parker, who's just like, this is what you probably need to do to maybe get a call. She gets called for everything. And she doesn't get it on the other end. So just because she went, now we're supposed to feel like, this is supposed to be exhibit A, that Asia Wilson doesn't have a special whistle. Yeah, you do, Asia. And so I just, I like to kind of have receipts on some things. So I just went to Google and I just asked about Asia Wilson's free throw attempts during this 2025 season. So we're going to go see what Google said. I simply asked, who has shot the most free throws in the 2025 WNBA season? And this tells me that Asia Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces shot the most free throws in the 2025 season. It also says she has also accumulated the most total free throws attempted in the season, with a figure that leads the league in free throw attempts. And over here at statmuse.com, right here, most free throws attempted in the WNBA in 2025, and you see the list. Asia Wilson, free throw attempts, 290 free throw attempts. Where is Aliyah Boston on the list? She's obviously not one. That's Asia Special Whistle Wilson. And then you go down, you got Kelsey Plum, Jerica Hamby, Alicia Gray, Brittany Sykes, Brianna Stewart. Man, Aliyah, where are you? Tina, Kelsey, Skylar, Veronica, Satu, Kiki, going on. Where are you? Angel, Nafisa, Alyssa, Sabrina, Paige, Sonia, Aliyah Boston, number 19. Number 19, 147 attempts to Asia Wilson's 290 attempts in 2025. And now I am over here on ESPN.com. Let's look at these stats. We're going to go to regular season totals. Regular season totals. We'll go down to 2025. We'll find our way over to free throw percentage. And she has hit 248 of 290 free throws. So there you see the 290 again. She has made 248 out of 290. And let's go over, and that's 85.5%. This is regular season. So let's go over to Aliyah Boston's statistics on free throws. Regular season totals 2025. Going over here to free throws, 112 made out of 147. So 147 as opposed to Asia Wilson's 290. 76.2% free throws. So what about Asia Wilson in the postseason? I switched this from regular season to postseason. How about that? Let's go down to 2025 postseason totals. 2025 right here. And free throws, Asia is 35 for 48. She's made 35 out of 48 for 72.9%. So she has attempted 48 in the postseason. What about Aliyah Boston? Does she have a special whistle? So as you can see, I'm over here in the postseason, down to 2025 postseason totals. Over here to free throws, she has shot 27, and she's made 19 of 27 for 70.4%. So Asia Wilson in the 40s, Asia Wilson with 48, and Aliyah Boston with 27. So for Asia Wilson to suggest that Aliyah Boston is the one with the special whistle, well, to use Asia's term, that suggestion is very interesting. And for her coach to say it's SHIT, how the fouls went in the last game, well, that's very interesting also. Seriously, though, the Indiana Fever did have a better whistle in game 4. Now, Indiana usually gets jacked up in terms of that, in particular players also. So it's particular players that seem to be the ones that blow that whistle really, really fast. So it was the Indiana Fever, no doubt, shot more free throws, a lot more free throws than the Vegas Aces in that game. But that doesn't mean that that there was a special whistle. It might mean that the officials did a better job than they usually do. How about that thought? And we're, when you're the Aces, you're used to Asia special whistle. You are. And in Indiana, generally, we don't see the same kind of respect for various players. And so, yeah, I don't know that. I mean, I think there were a couple calls where I thought, oh, that could have gone against Indiana, and it didn't. But it wasn't a whole lot. It wasn't like an abundance. It wasn't like a situation where we're like, oh my goodness, they are so totally biased for Indiana, at least not from my perspective. Although I'll admit there were a couple calls where I was like, okay, we don't usually get that call. So thank you for doing the right thing there. Or even you might have missed that one. That might have been on us. But overall, it's not like Indiana is getting away with anything. The opposite is true. And so here we are at game 5. And as I have said in previous games, I want to be talking about the play and the players. Don't want officials trying to decide this game. Really, nobody wants that. Well, at least Indiana Fever fans don't want that because it generally doesn't work in our favor. So I want players to play. I want players to decide the game. I don't want officials trying to help anybody out, like the special whistle, Asia Wilson, which we see a lot. And it would be really nice if they would call the offensive foul. I think they called one on her. I think they called the moving screen on her. I know she got an offensive foul of some sort in the last game. But that sticking out that hip thing and taking people down stuff, come on. All right. So I just came with the receipts. That's all I did. Asia Wilson, shh, because you're way off here. Okay. Woo! Let's go, Fever. It's all about right now. Is this moment right now? I believe. I'm a Fever believer. And I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.